Ashanaleng olang'urani le Sidai TV enkolong' ntarikini 13 olapa le telari lo 2022 oltipili duo taata le Alhamisi naa kuna nkoroki olomon te Sidai TV kaji nanu Samson Simpiri ana newsman. Ore tolomon likincho enkiroshi tekuna saai endama nelimu lomon nchere eitodolu ajo ore entumo naitutumo orkioma le IEBC oitasheki imbaa engelare lakeshak pooki lolorika le rais neitodolu ajo enedupoto tenkaraki etawang'aki mbaa kumok oleng naapiikini apa ajo ebaiki nemeitoriori tenkaraki esiai engelare natii ntarikini 9 olapa le isiet lele ari lo 2022. Ore tenchoto oloti lorais William Samoei Ruto neitadedeyie ajo ekenyoraa katukul orkerreti oba enaa otonyorrikiaki meshomo aasishore tengelare enaa enajo IEBC laa ninche oitasheki esiai engelare tiatua enkop e Kenya nalulung'a omon kulo oitadedeyie Ruto enkolong' nabo natulusoyie peelo dukuya orkioma le IEBC.
Our Secretary General called us last night that there was a change of time and we had already scheduled a meeting, so I apologize for that. But having said that, I would request that in future we should at least give us maybe 3-4 days notice of the actual timings, because you understand, Mr. Chairman, every minute counts when you are a few days to the election. Secondly, we have participated in elections. This is not different from all the other elections we participated in. We believe that the IEBC has built sufficient capacity to handle this election. All we want, Mr. Chairman, is what you're doing. Engagement, continuous engagement. We will continuously engage your technical team with our technical team. And sometimes when we criticize, it's not because we have any issues. It's because we want the right thing. You know, I was once told by Paul Muite that when you support a government, you criticize it when it goes wrong. So sometimes when you see criticism, I think in that spirit. Two final things. Thank you very much. Two final things. We all agree that we are the digital highway is the place we are going. We support your commitment to the electronic register. We are trying to move our parties to also have nominations like our competitors using an electronic register. So I think that's the direction we want to go. There has been notions that are not correct, that Kenya Kwanza wants a manual register. We do not want a manual register. If you give us sufficient safeguards that an electronic register will function without any chance of failure, then we are good. And finally, I was amazed at the number of staff, permanent staff, IEBC have. 800, in the region of 800 plus. Mr. Chairman, that's a very huge resource which Kenyans pay for. You should consider in future deploying that resource to help us with nominations in parties. I think really there should be a consideration because it's a national resource and they shouldn't be waiting to just run the elections. They can also help us run nominations in our parties with the expertise they have. In any case, Mr. Chairman, a democratic election will be heavily informed by the kind of nominations we do. If the nominations are not democratic, you end up with elections that are not democratic. So I think going forward, you should consider as IEBC working with political parties so that we can leverage more on the resource you have, which is a public resource, to assist grow political parties as institutions of governance. That because I believe that the strength of a democracy is dependent on the strength of the democratic institutions, including political parties that exist. Finally, we have no problem with any Kenyan serving in any capacity, so long as they have been recruited competitively and they have the requisite skills and competencies. We have absolutely no preference for any Kenyan from any community. And if our competitors have a problem with certain Kenyans who come from certain communities, you can work out with them. We have no problem if they are replaced. But we want every Kenyan to be given a chance, and the measure should not be ethnicity, the measure should be competence, whether they are competent to do whatever it is that they are doing. I am on record, Mr. Chairman, saying that even if my competitor's brother was the chairman of IEBC, I would have no problem. So
Itajumu urbungele murubunge starehe yolotiana Charles Njagua ana Jagua tangarnana yolo yoleng anolaranyani ajogeto dolo ajore nyamalatin kumok oleng na rasel iltung'anak lenko pe Kenya tanarishata na serikali egira aipotu kake itodolu na ajetua na meetai serikali tenkaraki ngolikinot naagira aimaa iltung'anak lelo osho olulung'a le Kenya. Itejo Jagua ilepa uchumi oleng nitanyamalitin enkishui oltung'anak lelo osho na kitodolu ajo etorikinishote ninche tiatua serikali.
Nishukuru sana His Excellency Deputy President wetu William Samoei Ruto. Jana tumelala saa 7 ya usiku tukisign kitu inaitwa Youth Charter, na akatuita tukiwa na deputy wetu hapa, akatuambia muende mulale saa hii kwa sababu kesho asubuhi lazima muende Laikipia, kwa sababu lazima mchukue maoni ya watu wa Laikipia. Manifesto ya UDA haitalaunchiwa bila kujua shida za watu wa Laikipia. Huo ni mtu anawapenda ama wapendi? Na ninashukuru sana kwa sababu nimesikia zile shida ziko hapa, na tumezunguka Kenya mzima na His Excellency na deputy wake, na zile shida ziko ni the same. Ukienda Samburu, ukienda wapi, Isiolo, uende Mombasa, watu wako na shida ya pesa. Ni uongo ama ni uongo? Ni ukweli. Watu wako na shida mingi, na some of these problems ukisikiza watu wa boda boda, mama wa mboga, unajiuliza kama kuna serikali ama hakuna serikali, kwa sababu watu wetu wameteseka. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niwaambie watu wa Laikipia, zile mashida mmepeana hapa, hiyo document mmetupatia, tuta make sure leo imelala na His Excellency William Samoei Ruto.
Itajo orkiama le IBC etene dupoto sapuk oleng eroruatana tudumutua iPod leloke akeshapok ngorlorikan osholorikan le rais ore lelake shapok rongwan le rais etii Raila Odinga lenjote Azimio One Kenya tenebo Daktari William Samoei Ruto lenjote UDA ana Kenya Kwanza tenebo Professor George Lushiri wa Jakoya lenjote Roots Party tenebo sinye David Mwaure Wahiga lorikioma yolotena Gano Party neshomo itopoke na baya doko orkiama le IBC toldibilito bo otulu soye.
The signing of the result form 34A and in all other elections by the agents ought to be mandatory, and your form should have a column for the agent to say I agree or disagree with the results. We also want, it's good you are transmitting the results. You have promised us copies, but you've been printing only 6 copies of the form, 4 of which are for use by the commission. As you can see in this presidential election, we have 4 presidential candidates. Therefore, 2 copies are not enough. We don't want to ask you to print more copies and incur more money for the government. We just want the right as agents to be able to take WhatsApp images of the form once it is ready. That way, whatever you transmit cannot have vifaranga via computer, because the form will be out, everybody will have it, And the press, if they are in the room, will also have it. The gap on announcing what is tallied at the station should be removed. When either the press or other people say how many votes were garnered, and they are on that form, they are not making the official announcement. They are giving the provision. They just state, this is what we witnessed. That enhances transparency. So two things. Your officers must not have the right to send out agents unless if there is an incident recorded by the police and the party has a right to replace. Number two, WhatsApp images. Those who are able to have smartphones, and I'm certain that in every room there will be at least one or two people with a smartphone. We must take WhatsApp images. The story of the Faranga via computer will die at that stage, and that will enhance the transparency of the elections, which is ordered or commanded by Article 86 of the Constitution. On the door. Oh, sorry, only one point. I'm being reminded by my principal that the order of counting in every polling station, it should be clear that they start with the presidential ballot. They don't always do so. I've been at polling stations where it is not done that way. So let the commission be clear. And finally, people commit deliberate electoral offenses. That is employees of the commission, and they hide behind the word commission. We want to request you to unequivocally and publicly tell your officers that anybody who violates the electoral code deliberately, we will face the law individually. Last year I tried to privately prosecute 3 of your officers. Now that we are busy in elections, I may drop the appeal, but we need them to know that it is personal responsibility. The elephant called the commission must be dissected to that polling clerk, to that candidate, to everybody. Thank you. So that we don't come back, I'm being reminded that, oh, okay, I think the audit report had already been asked in the previous by our competition in UTA, and I think we are in agreement that yes, we need the audit report by KPMG, but that now can also be bared to us as we inspect your factory.
Thank you. UDA.
Thank you, Chair. On the 9th of June, when you invited party representatives, candidates, and their agents to simulate the electronic transmission, result transmission system, the stakeholders pointed quite a number of shortcomings on that system that was presented to us. Number one, it was not user-friendly. We asked you to make it user-friendly. And the second, there were also a number of other bottlenecks, particularly transmission and the time it was taking for information to be transmitted from a polling station to you. I think we would like to know what effort has been made, or whether you're going to be doing another simulation that includes the comments we had made. Second, we fully embrace the system of the results forms pathway that you have presented. The bigger concern is on the transmission of the results from the polling station direct to the National Tally Center. And we will ask the Commission to share with the chief agents the GPS coordinates of all the KIMS kit. I think it's critical so that we can know it is actually the KIMS kit that was deployed to that polling station that is transmitting. But also, provide a backup access to chief agents so that they are able to confirm the GPS of the KIMS kits as they transmit the results. We will also want you to make assurance not only to us but also to the public that the public portal will be accessible even when many Kenyans are logging in. I think we need that assurance that information will be available at any particular time. And of course, I know the Commission has asked parties to have one agent in a polling station. We are asking you allow candidates also that are going to be in this election to be able to have agents to represent them in the various polling stations where voters will be voting. Thank you. Unless my colleagues wants to add, I think Dr. Linda Musumba is head of legal in Presidential Secretariat.
Chair, I don't know whether you can hear me, but during the 2017 petition, the question arose about the presidential, ballots, being more than the others, and then the issue arose that people are preferring to vote for the president rather than the others. But the question arose, what happens to the other five?
Say that again. There's a bit of noise here.
Sorry, Chair, I was asking, during the 2017 presidential election petition, the question arose, what happens to the other 5 ballot papers where a person does not wish to vote for the president? And the Commission, through that process, explained that each ballot paper, even if one elects not to mark it, ought to put it inside the different ballot boxes. So we just wanted to know the accountability mechanism that the Commission has put in place to ensure that if we're going to get 2,000, let's say, votes in a ballot box for presidential, that we shall get the same number in the others, so that we don't have a situation where ballot papers in the presidential are many more than in the other boxes. We just wanted that accountability mechanism to be explained. Thank you.
Yes, now on the, let's finish with Uda. You are done. I'll go to Agano. Then I see Asmia is not done yet. But let's finish with Agano first. Yeah.
Asanti mwenyekiti, yangu tu ni kuongezea yale yamesemwa na wenzangu na kusema hivi, ningependa kuomba commission ya kwamba muongezee matangazo ya kuwaelimisha Wakenya kuhusu haki zao kwa polling station. Ni ukweli wa kwamba returning officer hawa wenyu hata hao wanariki kushinda wengine wote. They confuse people. They act like they are small gods. And if you don't have an agent, you are at their mercy in the particular place. Na kaza kama mimi sijui kama nitaweza kupata maagent kote, Madera na kwingineko. Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa ya kuandika maagent popote. And I have seen them do these things, but let me finish my point. Let me stick to the point.
Let's have some decorum in the meeting.
No. Yeah, yes, I'm talking the truth. Please run more campaigns, please, on educating on their rights. I agree with the honorable running mate. Allow people to use electronic gadgets to capture what's happening, because there's a lot of abuse that goes on there. And one more point from us, Bishop, very quickly.
We want to seek leave, attend to other matters, but we have a very robust team behind us. We apologize for leaving before the end. But duty call.
Ithorikoye entomononia Raila Odinga yolotiana Daktari Aida Odinga endumo sabuke azimio temurua yoloti olenga na Kuisero county ya Kakamega tolondo lulengo be Kenya no monizo lungana na kope Western Region metosho gikura enjoto azimio la umoja amuni wiji jenge selegada ne bengirukoto erikore engobe Kenya.
Abana betu mrembe muri balamu Anasema niongee kwa Kijaluo. Kwanza wacha nigonge Kiluya kidogo au Kiswahili, alafu baadaye niseme hiyo Dholuo mnataka. Leo nimefika hapa kuonana na nyinyi, na nimekuja na salamu mingi kutoka kwa baba, na leo nimekuja kuhakikisha kama ni kweli muko na baba. Nataka kuambia tu story kidogo, moja tu kidogo. Miaka ya zamani sana, kabla mjazaliwa wengi wenu, baba yangu mzazi alitoka huko kwao game. Walimwambia ukitaka kuoa angalia upande wa Waluhya. Akatembea wakamwambia ende upande wa Kisa, pengine unaweza kupata yule msichana unaweza kupenda. Na akafika hapa Kisa. Alipofika hapa wakamwambia enda Mulwanda, na hapa ndio Mulwanda. Akapata yule msichana mwembamba, mrefu, mweupe, msomi, mrembo hata kushinda Sabina Chege.
Sangura ni Sidai TV, nekenda baingorogi olomon takuna sa yendama kaji Samson Simpiri aka Newsman.